What's up, guys and gals? It's time for the latest piece of One Piece. Chapter 1124, a couple of days late. Apologies for that. But look no further than we're opening up with the cover serial. Actually, something interesting happening here. Will it manifest itself into something a little bigger or a little more grand? Who knows right now? But right now, Yamato, on her pilgrimage towards, in Volume 12, on the road to Curry, she prevents an abduction by a silhouetted figure. She saves a young woman, teens, 20s, something like that. She manages to save someone. And the fact that she just didn't instantly conquers hockey this or immediately go after the fiend or something like that. We see the silhouetted figure running away. And it seems like Yamato may or may not give chase. I'm hoping that next issue we're going to see that clearly she went jump, boom, conquers hockey, done, and that was the end of it. But potentially, this means that the Wano region, after being saved by the tyranny of Kaido and stuff, still has its cutthroat, still has its underbelly of not so nice people. Like, we like to think of the Yakuza in Wano and stuff as good people because, of course, they all came together for a common goal. It doesn't mean that every single citizen of Wano was righteous and true of heart and stuff and all Aragorn about this shit. No. Not every single member of a country, no matter how great, is all going to be Luffy's, is all going to be Odin's, is all going to be Whitebeard's. It's just not the way it works, right? And we've seen it multiple times in the series. So I'm very interested now that the cover serial actually did something. I was like, this is a little unexpected, I don't think anybody else expected it, but you guys let me know what you thought down in the comment section down below. Now, we jump over to big news. Morgan's in the news crew, the giant floating, seagull ship and stuff like that, and it's getting completely out of hand, completely out of control. Of course, because Morgan's is just like, big news this, big news that, and Vivi is literally looking up at him and going, "You goddamn big bird motherfucker, I ain't taking shit from you, motherfucker." Like, she has no qualms about calling him out, saying like, no, so, like, because Morgan's just going off on this whole thing saying, hey, this is the biggest story, and it's like, most of it is apparently true, and then we can like double down on the influx and the influence. I mean, look no further than any news outlet in today's world, and it's like, okay, we can take this one nugget of truth, and we can blow it up to outlandish proportions. They have the biggest scoop of the century, and they're like, and we're still gonna build that even bigger, right? And so it's packed full of news. We have so many things we can talk about, so many things we can do, and Vivi's just like, you are completely selling a lie. You are not selling the truth and stuff like that. And Morgan's immediately says like, don't tell me how to run my paper, little girl. I'll tell them where you're hiding. And Vivi's just like, oh, did I offend you in your falsehoods, your fake news? Get the fuck out of here, like, Vivi is not taking any shit. Now, Wapple is, of course, completely beside himself with this, like, Vivi, we are literally some of the most wanted people right now since we saw something we were not supposed to see in Mary Jo. Could you please not piss off the one guy who literally is in the air in the only known sky ship, I like to say, like, currently in the globe? I mean, Anaru sort of flew to the moon, so the only one that's actually non-detectable, they can't really track him down, they don't really know where he is, sort of idea. This is like our best safe haven. We're not under the protection of a Yonko. This is our best bet. Maybe don't piss him off, sort of idea. Vivi does not care, because Morgan goes on saying, "Ha ha ha, the sky is my home, so I don't care if the sea rises so many meters, it doesn't matter to me." It's like, do you really want to take that attitude with me, princess? I mean, sure, it won't set you back, are you sure about this? Are you absolutely sure? And Vivi just immediately goes, look, I'm completely sure. If the world's going to be destroyed, the world's going to be destroyed. It is what it is. We'll have to deal with it then. But I'm not going to play coward because you're trying to frighten me, Big Bird. Like, I saw Sesame Street. You do not frighten me. You bring Ronald McDonald up in this bitch, or the Hamburglar, then we can talk. But for right now, I got Grimace over here on my side. He's just got a steel jaw and kind of cowardly. But, I got my own version of the Grimace. We're good. We're good. So, actually, I guess it would be cowardly. Anyways, not the point. So, Morgan just moves off and says, oh my god, we have so many things to talk about. Emperor Blackbeard versus Trafalgar Law. Emperor Redhead Shanks versus Eustace, Captain Kidd and crew. Emperor Straw Hat Luffy murders Dr. Vegapunk in cold blood. And then we see the liar, so Vivi is standing her ground. Good for goddamn Vivi. I know a lot of people want to say Yamato, and they want to say Bonnie, and they want to say Rebecca. Well, a lot of people for some reason don't like Rebecca. Carrot's a big one. A lot of people have said we have all these honorary Straw Hats and stuff, right? I would argue the one who would join out of all of them that would be considered that isn't on the deck of the crew, the number one will always be Princess Vivi of Alabasta. She was basically a Straw Hat the moment they all put the X on the forearm. You know what I'm saying? So Vivi is doing exactly what we saw Nami do in Wano and stuff like that. She's saying, no, I do not give a shit. My life is in danger. The world's going to shit. I do not care. Do not badmouth the future king of the pirates. I will have your goddamn head. Like, she does not care. She is Straw Hat through and goddamn through. Vivi is definitely she's a member of the Straw Hats. I've always said this, People can argue, whatever, honor it, whatever. She's a Straw Hat. I do not care. She is a Straw Hat. So, then we move on to, I think this is one of the best scenes I've seen all year from One Piece. 100%. Like, 100%. So, why I love this is because we sort of didn't get the indication because of Kizaru's character. Kizaru's character has always been very, we always make the jokes. Everyone, from YouTubers to Twitch streamers, all the way to Reddit and Discord and Twitter and all that stuff. He's a toker. He's a stoner. He's all, whoa, this shit's getting, whoa. This shit's getting pretty nuts. Maybe I'll deal with it. Maybe I won't. Anybody got any Fritos? That has always been Kizaru, right? He has always been that way. And we've never known if he's truly been serious or not, realistically. Like, so many people have, to this day, used the whole Ben Beckman statement. Like, Kizaru never takes anything seriously. The Rayleigh fight. Is Kizaru going all out? Like, we have no indication because of his personality, because of his attitude. We don't know if he's actually like, holy shit, me versus Ben Beckman? I don't know. Me versus the Dark King? I don't know. Like, we don't have an honest opinion. We only have the opinions of both Ben Beckman and Rayleigh during these instances because we cannot gauge Kizaru based on his personality, the way he judges things. If he's in over his head, is he being serious? Is he being sarcastic? Is he just has no fucking clue because he's stoned out of his mind? We don't know. And the fact that the fan base actually thinks they know just means that the people who think they know are usually the people the most wrong. So look out for those ones. The ones who think they know Kizaru's statements by fact and go, Kizaru said this, so immediately we're taking that as the gospel. They're the people that are the most wrong out of everybody. Because, once again, we do not know. Kizaru is such a wishy-washy personality. We don't know when he's actually being serious or stoned or whatever. What I love about this scene is that finally we got true, 100% undeniable emotion and facts from Kizaru. If anything else, everything else can basically be put into question. This cannot. And that's why I brought up the whole reason, and not just for power scaling reasons or whatever, but just in general, like, Kizaru has always been the whole laid back, like, yeah, man, I guess I gotta get serious, and then he gets serious, and it's like, ho, 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 I'm having a rough time, and it's like, it doesn't look like you're having a rough time, so are you being serious or not? We have no idea as the audience, as the readers. And now, finally, we're getting serious Kizaru, and this cannot be doubted. This is 100%, and I was shocked that we actually got Kizaru doing this. Like, because all of Egghead is wiped out. Saint Saturn is left, I'm sure, still standing by the Iron Giant. Kizaru's the only one awake. But the Giants left, the Straw Hats left, literally that hockey bomb. Everybody's done. Everybody. Vice Admirals and all. So only Kizaru is left. So he finally gets up. Sentomaro, by the way, paced. He paced in a rowboat. He's gone. And he's very upset too. But one of the ships, or multiple of them, it doesn't matter which one, they're hearing the call come in. Is everybody dead? What happened? Come in, Egghead. What's going on? And it's actually Sakazuki. It's the Fleet Admiral. It's Akainu himself. And Kizaru's the one to pick it up. It just says, immediately starts with, he doesn't start with what I expected Kizaru to start with, which would have been, oh, hey, Sakazuki, what do you want? Or something like that. He immediately goes, oh, shut up. Because he has zero time for this right now. And then Akainu, being Akainu, immediately goes into, why are you picking up the call? Borsellino, what happened to the others? Like, you and Admiral's picking up the call, so what's going on? Why you? What's happening? And Kizaru's sitting on the deck and looking at everybody passed out, foaming. Everyone, every single person here, well, they're kind of passed out. They're foaming at the mouth. Gonna be a bit of a wait. And he said, what's that supposed to mean? What about St. Saturn? What's going on with the power plant? Are there any escapees? What's going on? I need a full report. And Kizaru was trying to be calm, and he goes, I'll have a report sent in once the youngins start waking up. He goes, you better not have been sloppy on this job, Borsellino. You know, you better not have been slacking off. And then that's what does it. That's what completely... Kizaru right now, Borsellino is on, like, he's like, he doesn't want to deal with this at all. But the phone was bothering him, sort of idea. He needs a moment of peace, and the ringing was bothering him. It's the only reason he picked up, in my opinion. And he's teetering on the edge here. And the fact that he was just told that he's slacking off on his job, it just... The snap happened right here. It was like, alright, Sakazuki, tell me something. Have you ever killed your best friend? And then we see flashbacks, just small ones, of when Kizaru was a, you know, maybe a vice admiral or below that, you know, a rear admiral, something, maybe even below, and it's like, and he's talking to Vegapunk many years ago when they first met and stuff. And Vegapunk was like, you guys want my technology? You're from the Marines? Yeah. How much are you going to pay me? What are you going to set me up with? You know, he was already making deals with the devil already. And then, you know, we see another one where he's clearly back when he definitely was a vice admiral, because he's got the hat and he's got his whole look when he was arresting Arlong and stuff. And it's like, yeah, this is the island. I'm going to call it Egghead. It's going to be great, isn't it? And stuff. And then he says, we're building the future, of 500 years in the future. It's going to be fantastic and stuff like that. All right, Borsellino, lend us a hand, brother. And he's like, you know I'm an admiral, right? And we see Kizaru lifting a bunch of, like, steel I-beams, you know, because he's strong as hell and stuff like that. And it's just like, he's helping out with this shit and stuff. And then we saw all of what he was doing. And we jump back to when he finally actually stabbed the real body, the real Dr. Vegapunk. We're looking at him through his aviators, through his sunglasses. And we see him looking at this, looking at what he just caused and the blood coming out of Vegapunk's body. And then he's standing there while Egghead is in flames. And he's standing there on the edge of a ship where everything's gone to hell. He says, you want to know if I'm slacking off on my job, Sakazuki? And then we get the panel. It's got to be the thumbnail. 100%. It just has to be. And he just says, if you have time to sit there and doubt me, then come over here and see my work for yourself, you goddamn... And it's just like, you son of a bitch. And I'm just like... This is the most... And we see him, like, he's snotting, he's crying behind the sunglasses and stuff. He's like, you really dare to say if I'm here slacking off? Because once again, the jokes in the community have always been Borsellino is never going all out. Like, this is why I preface this by talking about how the community views Borsellino, how we view Kizaru. That we never know whether to take his statements as facts. Is he really trying? Is he really not? We have no idea. We take it up as a stoner thing. He's never gone all out, or maybe he has and we don't know. It's up in the air. Right here. It's 100%. Kizaru is literally... It's sort of a shot at the fan base as a whole, but it's also a huge shot at Sakazuki, basically saying, like, just because I'm the one who seems to be goofing off all the time doesn't mean I am. I do my goddamn job, even if it's the worst mission I've ever been on in my life. I just had to kill my best friend. Shut the fuck up. And that's literally what he's telling. And even Sakazuki's immediately, he doesn't say shit. He's like, wait. Borsellino just got mad. I overstepped. Sakazuki, the man with absolute justice, just went, I just pissed Kizaru off? Okay. Whoa. I clearly put one big giant step over the line. I gotta retract that shit. I was fucking in the wrong. Like, he doesn't even question it, because the moment he basically tells him, you have time to sit there and doubt me? Come check out this devastation for yourself, you goddamn son of a bitch. And I kind of just like, his only response is, that's my bad, brother, I'm sorry. Immediately, it's just like, no, that was my bad. And Kizaru just says, just keep your goddamn mouth shut. Like, Kizaru has had it. He's up to his limit. He didn't want any of this, but he followed his orders right to the letter. We've been through this time and time again, and people are going to blame the Marines. But once again, these are criminals. These are criminals. We like to know, we know the world government is corrupt, but in any other instance, if you were to compare this in any other instance, if your brother or your comrades in arms, whoever, if somebody was in the military, if there was a captain, a lieutenant, or an admiral, or somebody, and they were ordered to fire on someone, it doesn't matter if your best friend is on that island. If that best friend is part of a terrorist organization, it doesn't matter how much you love that person. Your orders are to take out that terrorist organization. So you are going to goddamn follow orders. You are going to do it. You are a member of the Marines. That is your job. It is one of the things that I hate, that argument of Garp is a shit person because he didn't do more to save Ace. He literally did everything to stop Ace and Luffy. He tried his best. I mean, yes, he made mistakes, but this whole idea that the Uncle Sam would ever go, it's fine to pardon terrorists. Ever. Or would actively try to, you know what I mean? Like, it's just a ridiculous statement, and more people need to actually apply. See, we only know this because we know that the world government are obviously the evil bad guys. We love Luffy and stuff like that. But once again, most pirate crews, we're only following the good pirate crews. There's a lot of evil pirates out there. This is literally Pirates of the Caribbean. Jeffrey Rush, Black Pearl pirates are the majority of the world of One Piece. We just don't see it that often, but they truly are. So this is, as I said, it's my favorite scene, honestly, because it's the one time that I am absolutely 110% sure that Kizaru actually is 100% himself. He's 100% behind this, you know? So, he's definitely crying. He's definitely upset and stuff. And I saw so many reviewers wishy-washy about it, but we got it here, and it's fantastic. Then we jump over to the Straw Hat crew and, of course, the Giant crew and stuff like that. This is where there's a couple of small, minor things that I just want to talk about, but for the majority, the big thing was the Kizaru Sakazuki moment, the Denden Mushi call. This part is okay, but but we'll get to it in a sec. So yeah, last part of the chapter, we have Jinbei, Zoro, and Frankie all talking. Surprisingly not being the three, basically the two wings and the obvious goat Jinbei of the Pirate King sitting around here, but with Frankie here with that wonderful cowboy hat. I love the look with the cowboy hat. It looks so good on Frankie. But they're basically talking about how everyone's sort of down in the dumps right now. It's like everyone was like celebrating. Yeah, we got away from Egghead. Yeah, we stuck to the girl. Say, yeah, Bonnie's safe. Kuma's safe. Everything's okay. Not so much. So the celebration ended after one mug each, and it's like and Jinbei's like, I've never seen Luffy. This is a weird statement, and I think it's just translated incorrectly because Jinbei said, I've never seen Luffy look so dejected. Jinbei, you are the reason that Luffy survived after Ace died. Not Zoro, not Sanji, not anybody else. You are the literal reason. You have seen Luffy at his literal bottom. You were the one. Nobody else saw it. Only Jinbei. I mean, Boa and Rayleigh and stuff saw it, but like out of the Straw Hat crew, Jinbei's the only one who saw Luffy at his literal lowest and pulled him out of it. Him by his own goddamn fish hands. So it's a weird translation for say, I've never seen Luffy look so dejected. No. You have seen him far worse. Far worse than this, Jinbei. Shut the fuck up. You know, so I think that was just a translation thing. But anyways, but he goes on to say, like, it's like, yeah, we didn't completely fulfill our goal or whatever because we never got Vegapunk successfully off the island. And Frankie continues saying, you know, we had to fight the Gorosei, one of the original admirals, CP0 was there, the Seraphim, a whole Buster Call. Like seriously, it's such a miracle that we all escaped intact. Like, literally. There should have been a lot more death. And Frankie's adding this up on his hand going, yeah, we have plot armor galore right now. What the fuck is he upset about? Sort of idea, right? And then while Jinbei says, I completely agree with you, but still Luffy feels like he failed. Sort of idea. And Zoro has no time for this. Vice captain, this is what makes Zoro the vice captain. He agreed. And once again, Jinbei and Frankie both agree with Zoro. Zoro's just harshly going to say it. It's pathetic. He's one of the Yonko now. And he's moping over one old man dying. And they're just like, Zoro, that's kind of harsh. But that literally is the case. You are a Yonko. There will be casualties. Your power and your influence is vast. It's grand. But at the end of the day, you will not. Even Shanks doesn't save everybody. You know what I mean? So, I'm sorry. If it was that easy, you don't think Roger would have said, Rayleigh, here's the keys to the One Piece. Literally protect the entire world because you're awesome. You know, it's not feasible. It's not feasible for one man to literally be able to save everybody all of the time, even at the level of Yonko. So as Zoro is trying to say, it's like, yeah, but as we continue, we are not going to be able to save everyone. The fact that we saved, as Frankie was pointing out the numbers, we got away amazingly for what we were stacked up against. We got away golden. We got the AAA DDR triple S rank for this. We didn't miss a beat. So it's like one old man dying. I'm sorry. I'm just not having it. And everyone's like, oh, come on. It's a little harsh. But the funny thing is that once again, Jinbei, being very experienced, and Frankie do agree with this assessment. Zoro's just putting it very blatantly and a little more insulting towards his captain, right? Because Zoro said, I'm still drinking. Like, everyone's like, oh, we only had one mug each and then the celebration was over. And Zoro's like, glug, glug, glug. Fuck that. I'm happy. We all lived. We fought. We dared. We won. You know? So, this is where Lilith wakes up and stuff. Once again, they're all on the giant ship with Sanji, Nami, and Usopp, etc. And Lilith is basically given the rundown sort of idea. She's apparently plugged in, but not plugged in at the same time. It's quite weird and stuff like that. So anyway, she's like, wow, all the Vegapunks are dead. Give me a minute to cry. Wow. And it's like, wait, you're the evil one again? Which, once again, bringing up the fact that Vegapunk was stupid for making androids that were literally the personification of evil and gluttony and greed and all this shit in the first place. That also being said, ironically, though she was in charge of sea beasts and stuff, so a little evil, but Lilith is actually the one who did nothing wrong. But the fact that in the flashback, they were like, immediately, Lilith, she's the evil personified, she's to blame. And it's like, the fact that you don't even know your own personality well enough, like, it's, anyways, enough Vegapunk shit talking. I already did enough of that last chapter review. But, yeah, so, either way, we got Brooke, and we got everybody there, and, like, there's Luffy up there, and he's like, he's just eating 5 bunches of grapes, being like, oh, woe is me, sort of idea. And I'm just like, Luffy, I'm with Zoro. I'm 100%. I'm like, Jinbei, bad translation, but you have seen Luffy far worse than this for far worse shit. And Zoro is absolutely right. You're a Yonko. I know your mission was to get, but you did save a Vegapunk. Lilith is alive. You did save Vegapunk, technically speaking. So, get the fuck over yourself, right? And that's when, you know, Lilith brings up the fact that it is only death by your constant. In short, they're all alive. And everyone's like, wait, what? Oh my god. And I was like, no, Oda, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't tell me that all the Vegapunks survived, even York. I was like, oh my god, do not do this. Do not do this. Please learn to kill off characters. Oda, for the love of Christ, kill characters. And it's like, in your perception of death. And it's like, oh my god, alright. So Oda was literally just trying to troll everybody, and I was like, okay, that's fine, you know. But it's like, you did keep your promise to me, so don't be sad, because once again, like Lilith points out, you promised to get Vegapunk safely off the island. I'm Vegapunk. You succeeded. You're good, you know. And unfortunately, my problem with this is that Luffy immediately accepts that, as though, like, he made the promise to the actual Vegapunk body, not to the android version. And you're telling me that Chopper, nobody went up to Luffy and said, no, we did save Vegapunk, and once she wakes up, she'll be fine? Like, the moment Lilith woke up, if that were the case, you're telling me, so it's really it's unearned and undeserved. This whole scene sort of bothers me, because it's like, okay, Luffy's all depressed because he couldn't save Vegapunk. And he didn't. He failed. He failed to save the actual body of Dr. Vegapunk. Vegapunk is effectively dead. But Lilith is alive, and when she wakes up and says, yeah, we're still dead, but I'm here, so don't sweat it, Luffy. And Luffy's like, woe is me. Oh, okay, I still failed to save the old man, but I'm good now. Let's go, Giants. Party time. It's very rushed, it's very unearned, and it's weird that we had the whole, oh, Luffy is woe is me, for all of 3 pages, just for him to turn around in 5 seconds without any real resolution. It really does bother me, but who cares? I didn't like Egghead as an arc anyways. Let's move on to a much better arc in the version of Elbaf. I'm looking forward to it. Luffy's going, hey, giant guys, thanks for saving us. We see Robin, we see Sanji, we see everybody. Everybody's like, yeah, it's time. It's Dory, it's Broggy. It's like, I don't care if you guys are my enemies or my friends. It's going to be me in the end. I'm going to be the king of the pirates, and I will find the One Piece. Cheers, everybody. And it's just like, let's goddamn go. And then we do see a mysterious figure drinking in the background in supposedly Elbaf, having a drink and going, come on. End of chapter. And it's just like, oh, wow. Wow. So, who's the mysterious figure? We have no idea. It should be very interesting. It might be a brand new character. We don't know. But I'm just saying that I like this chapter for a lot of reasons. I love the Kizaru bit. And I love that the Yamato backstory stuff is like, okay, Wano might be freed of Kaido and stuff, but there's still... Every single person in Wano wasn't necessarily a good person. There was still crime, and not nice crime, before Kaido took over. And it's like, okay, now all of this riffraff is going to sort of come up out of the woodwork now, thinking that it's easy pickings, now that their overlord is gone, right? Sort of that whole necessary evil versus, actual policed areas. So... yeah, so both of those aspects definitely interested me. As I said, this last part, there were not bad character moments, but once again, it didn't make a whole lot of sense that Luffy would just one word from Lilith and he's fine. By that logic, the moment Lilith woke up, Luffy should have been okay. Because Vegapunk, literally what he was depressed about is still true. Like... Oda literally trolled us on that it wasn't for one panel, and then goes, by your guys' logic, they are completely 100% dead. Oh, so Luffy should have immediately went back into a depression. No, he immediately goes out of it with no reason. It was just kind of, why put him into the depression in the first place? And make it seem like a big deal by opening up the last part of the chapter with Jinbei and Zoro going, yeah, man, I don't know, like, Luffy's pretty dejected right now. It's like, yeah, this is unbecoming of a Yonko, blah, blah, blah. Having this whole serious conversation about Luffy's attitude as a Yonko, just for him to completely ignore that whole, it was a weird scene. It was weird. Anyways, that's it for me. Sorry this was so late, guys. I was camping. There was a bunch of other stuff on the go. But yeah, that's chapter 1124. So we will see you guys back here next time for the next piece of One Piece. Like, comment, and subscribe as always. Hope to see you guys back here for that one. Have a good one. Sayonara.